Yeah. Namo Om Vishnu Paraya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachade Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda, Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda, Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda, Radhe Radhe. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Shyama Sundar ki, Shri Nitai Gaur Hari Ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna. His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj Ki. So thank you very much, devotees, for coming once again for our regular weekend program. I think we've taken your feedback, and last week was a bit hot at 12 o'clock, so it's a bit cooler today. At least we'll have a bit more comfortable environment. But devotees, thank you very much for coming through. Just a quick update. Thank you very much for following the protocols that we have in place with COVID. Maintaining your distance amongst the chairs, making sure that you sanitize on entrance, checking your temperatures and registering yourself. So thank you very much for complying and helping us with this process. We are starting to slowly grow our numbers in the garden. So as we become better in managing these protocols, we can obviously invite more devotees to come to the program as well. So thank you very much for that. Devotees, we'll make some more announcements later on, but right now I'd like to hand over to Maharaj, who will take us through today's class. His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj Ki.
Srila Prabhupada Ki. Well, yes, indeed. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. It's wonderful to be here with you all. I hope everyone's happy in Krishna consciousness. Today we're going to continue on with day 3 of our glimpses into the heart of Srimati Radharani seminar. It's really quite something, actually. And the more I look into it, the more I see there is more. It's just amazing. So we'll continue today, we'll continue tomorrow night online, and Tuesday we'll have the final day, evening up on the deck, up top there. And, well, we changed the time, of course, since last week, but as I have heard, we're going to change it again to 4 o'clock. Means like it would be starting in half an hour, because it may still be a little warm. Are you okay? Not overheating? Anyway, that's what I heard. We're going to be starting at 4 o'clock. So it should be a little cooler. And the leaves and things are coming out on the trees, so they will block some of the sun. Yes, okay, so let us re-enter into this amazing subject matter, glimpses into the heart of Srimati Radharani. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presta Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyatyade Shatarane Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So let us begin today, devotees, reading a little excerpt from a class by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master. And this is an excerpt from a class he gave on Radhastami Day in 1931. Long time ago. 90 years ago. Sure. So he refers to to a verse we read actually last night. I'll read it again. It's Adi Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 4, verse 82, which is a beautiful verse. Govinda Nandini Radha, Govinda Mohini, Govinda Sarvasva Sarva Kanta Shiromani. Radha is the one who gives pleasure to Govinda. And she is also the enchantress of Govinda. She is the be-all and end-all of Govinda, and the crest jewel of all his consorts. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says, let that personification of supreme magnanimity, Srimati Radharani, who is always eager to collect the mercy of the Supreme Lord on behalf of all living entities, so let her appear in our hearts and make her presence known. Without submission to the one whom Govinda considers to be everything to him, Sarvasva, we do not realize the meaning of the word Sarva. Govinda Sarvasva. Sarva, of course, means all. So, Govinda Sarvasva. Sva means one's own. Yeah, Sva. S-V-A, Swarup. That's quite a well-known use of this prefix, Swa. Swa means your own, Swarup, your own form, your own nature. So Govinda Sarvasva indicates Radharani is everything to Govinda, to Krishna. Swa means one's own, and Swa also means wealth. If we have the one who is Govinda's own wealth, the one who makes him wealthy, that wealth that is everything to Govinda, if she becomes the object of our worship, then we will understand what worship is. If, after reading the 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, we do not come to know about Srimati Radharani, then our reading was in vain. But if by some unknown sukriti, good fortune, we get the association of those who are close to Srimati Radharani, Sri Rishabhanu Nandini, if we're fortunate enough to hear about her, then we can get the inspiration to proceed towards our supremely beneficial goal. She is everything to the son of Nanda, who is the reservoir of all ecstasy. And we will never attain devotional service to Govinda without serving her and her servitors. Hare Krishna. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Very beautiful. And I thought, let's just as a reminder read the next verse, 83, which last week Sunday, that was the verse we focused on, but it's a classic. It's kind of the definitive verse, you could say, just at one time in a nutshell, defining who's Srimati Radharani. Devi Krishna Mai Prokta, Radhika Paradevata, Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva, Kanti Sammohini Para. The transcendental goddess, Srimati Radharani, is the direct counterpart of Lord Sri Krishna. She is the central figure for all the goddesses of fortune. She possesses all the attractiveness to attract the all-attractive personality of Godhead. She is the primeval internal potency of the Lord. Srimati Radharani Ki Jai. Oh, it's amazing. It is amazing. So, I was thinking today to at least touch on a little bit Lord Chaitanya's part in this whole gigantic picture of who is Srimati Radharani, what is Srimati Radharani, and what is her place in everything. And a nice place to begin in that regard is just by, I think, briefly referring to really wonderful story which is in Chaitanya Mangala of Lochan Das Thakur. It's the story of how Krishna manifested himself first time, they say, as Lord Chaitanya. Actually, there's a number of stories about, different stories about the first time Krishna manifested himself as Lord Chaitanya. And that's not a contradiction, by the way. That's just wonderful. When the devotees come across things about Krishna, about Srimati Radharani, which appear contradictory, those things do not confuse the devotees and make the devotees think that something's wrong, but rather they just stimulate the devotees to think, how wonderful is our Lord? How wonderful is Srimati Radharani. So anyway, in this story, it's set in Dwarika. And I'm just going to briefly go through it, not the whole story. But Rukmini prepares to receive Lord Krishna, who's her husband there in Dwarika, and gets everything ready. and Lord Krishna comes, and when he arrives just at the door, not even inside yet, then Rukmini just drops down. She's just too overwhelmed. Drops down on his lotus feet in ecstasy, just crying and crying tears of love on his lotus feet. And Lord Krishna, he becomes confused. And he asks her, what's wrong? Are you upset? You seem upset. And Rukmini says, no. I'm just so happy to see you. And Krishna says, well, you seem upset to me. And she takes him in and sits him down and offers arti, washes his feet. And while she's washing his feet, she's also bathing his feet with her tears. And Krishna again says, what's wrong? I can see something just seems to be wrong. What is it? And Rukmini again says, no, nothing's wrong. I'm just so happy to see you. Just for your information, a little bit of the inside story. If someone is crying, if a devotee is crying, and their tears are hot, it means they are transcendentally disturbed. But if their tears are cold, it means they're just in transcendental ecstasy. But anyway, Krishna couldn't quite get it. What's wrong? And she's saying, nothing's wrong. I'm just happy. And eventually Krishna says, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. You're crying. You seem upset, but you say you're happy. I don't understand. And Rukmini says, my Lord, that's the problem. You don't understand. That's the problem. Even though you are Sarvagya, you are omniscient, and you just know everything from everyone, from everywhere, past, present, future, and even beyond past, present, and future. But there's one thing that you don't know. And Krishna, by now, he's just holding on. Wow, what is this? And Rukmini says, there's one thing you don't understand. You don't understand how much your devotees love you. And for Krishna, it was really a wow moment. And he had to agree, you're right. You're right. I don't really understand that. How can I understand that? And Rukmini said, there's only one way. There's only one way. You have to become a devotee. If you don't become a devotee, you'll never understand this. It'll remain a mystery. So Krishna was agreeing, yes, you're right, I can see that. I'm going to have to become a devotee, but how? How's it going to happen? What to do? At that moment, devotees, many of you I'm sure know the story, at that moment, who should arrive but Narada Muni? And Narada Muni was in distress. He was upset. He came in and offered his obeisances, and of course the Lord was very happy to see him, but the Lord could see that he's not happy, and so he asked him, what's wrong? And Narada Muni explained, I was just down on planet Earth, and I was trying to preach your glories, but it was so hard. The people, they were just too much. And I was in this place called Jewberg, or Joeyberg, I forget, it was something like that. And the people there were just far gone, too far gone, it was hopeless. And I just didn't know what to do, so I gave up. And here I am, I've come back, and I just don't know what to do. Because normally, Narada Muni is a very successful preacher. He can preach to practically anyone and get them to become a devotee. So he's really frustrated. And he said, my Lord, the only thing that can help these people, the only way these people can be helped is if you go and you preach to them. Other than that, there's no one who has the potency. But the thing is, Narada Muni said, there's a serious problem there, is that these Kali Yuga people, they're always prone to copy. So if you go as you normally go, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and do all your amazing superhuman acts, then they're going to copy you. And there'll be all these fake avatars, and they're just going to confuse the situation further. So my Lord, you know what? You're going to have to go as a devotee. You'll have to go as a devotee and spread this consciousness of yourself. And Rukmini and Krishna's just, yeah, right, yeah. And Rukmini told Krishna, yes, this is your chance. You can go you can appear as a devotee. But not just any devotee, just devotee X from Sandton or even Lens or somewhere, just some odd-bod devotee. You got to go as Radharani. Then you'll understand how much your devotees love you. So Krishna leapt up in ecstasy. Right, this is it. I am going. And he manifested the form of Lord Chaitanya. Krishna, but in the mood of Radharani, combined form. So, in other words, being a devotee is fascinating, extremely intriguing, even for the Lord, even for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that's why Lord Chaitanya, why Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya. And I want to read now a verse, just the translation. Again, it's from Adi Leela, chapter 4, which is the main part of our literatures, which explain elaborately in so many ways about Srimati Radharani. This is Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 4, verse 230. So, Lord Chaitanya descended to understand the position of Srimati Radharani, desiring to understand the glory of Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in him that she alone relishes through her love, and the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love. The Supreme Lord, Hari, richly endowed with her emotions, appeared from the womb of Srimati Sachi Devi as the moon appeared from the ocean. So yes, this is Lord Chaitanya on the internal level, his internal desires for appearing. Internal means his own personal feelings, why he wanted to appear, what he wanted to get from appearing, what he wanted to experience himself. And the external reason, of course, was to spread the Sankirtan movement. But it's through spreading the Sankirtan movement that he was able to fulfill those internal desires. So there are three things, and they're very amazing things in regard to Radharani. The glory of Radharani's love. That's the first thing. The wonderful qualities in Krishna that she and no one else is able to appreciate and relish through her love. And then the happiness she feels when she experiences Krishna's reciprocation. These are three very deep subjects in Krishna consciousness and very deep subjects in regards to Srimati Radharani. Let me just read another couple of verses which are part of the sequence. This conclusion of rasa is extremely deep. Only Swarup Damodar knows much about it. Anyone else who claims to know it must have heard it from him. Yeah. Because he was the most intimate companion of Lord Chaitanya. So let's just examine this a little bit. First of all, the first incredible thing about Radharani, which was just overwhelming Krishna, bewildering Krishna, and he just couldn't come to grips with it at all, was the glory of her love. The glory of her love, as we explained last week, Sunday, Radha and Krishna are one, but they have separated themselves eternally. And the idea in doing that is that Radharani is Krishna's hladni potency, his pleasure potency, his capacity to experience pleasure. That's what she is. She's part of his being, of himself as an entity. But by the transcendental arrangement, she has become separated from him. At least in the, you could say, the physical sense. She appears to be a separate person. And she functions, you could say, like a separate person. But actually, she's still part of Krishna. And the idea of that separation is that she will now function as a devotee and do all sorts of things to please Krishna in a kind of, you can say, separate way, and in ways that he will not understand or expect. And he'll find suddenly Radharani is doing something amazing he didn't expect, and it's just going to be like, wow. Krishna likes being wowed. He loves it. So by them being separate like that, and Radharani apparently functioning separately, she does all these things, amazing things, which stimulate Krishna in unexpected but just completely wonderful ways. That's the glory of her love. The glory of her love, and why Krishna values her just incalculably. So, in that 4th chapter of the Adi Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are in-depth discussions about each of these 3 particular points. The glory of her love. Anyway, let's look at that first. Krishna says that I don't know the strength of Radha's love. She always overwhelms me. The love of Radharani is my teacher, and I am her dancing pupil. Her prema, her love, makes me dance various novel dances. These pastimes of Radha and Krishna, they're all sorts of novel happenings. I know, maybe we mentioned the other day, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that one time Srimati Radharani was interviewed, and the interviewer asked, "Why don't you and Krishna just get married? Then you can be together all the time." And in fact, you would have to be together all the time, otherwise people would start gossiping. Now, you try and come together and people gossip. But if you just get married, then you don't have to worry about that. And Radharani thought momentarily and said, it's possible. But I think it would just be boring. we would sit there and look in each other's eyes, and I would say to Krishna, I love you. And he would look in my eyes and say, I love you too. And I would say, I love you very much. And he would say, I love you very much too. And I would say, I love you very, very much. And you get the idea, right? And Radharani said, it would just be boring. But this way, where we can't just be together just like that. It's more exciting. It's more fun. We never know what's going to happen. It's amazing. And she told Krishna, not Krishna, but the interviewer, that, our relationship is like a very good chutney. Anyway, I know some of you are quite good at making chutneys through my personal experience. But now this chutney, Radharani said, our relationship is just like an excellent chutney. An excellent chutney is so hot you can hardly eat it. But it's so sweet, you just can't resist it. Our relationship is like that. And I'm from Chats. And down there, particularly in certain parts of Chats, like Unit 3, 2B, they make special chutney, it's red chilies, with green chilies and some sugar and a bit of salt, and they call it mother-in-law's revenge. Anyway, excuse me please, but don't tell anyone from Chats I said that. So the Radharani said like that. It is just so exciting. We never know what's going to happen. But all we know is that what's going to happen is going to be something incredible. And that's the essence of them being separated in that sort of, you could say, physical sense. Otherwise, we have in Brahma Samhita, there's the description of Mahavishnu, whose consort is Rama. Not Rama, but Rama Devi. And not always, but generally, she is within him. Because that's what she is. She's part of him. As he is an expansion of Krishna, she's an expansion of Radharani. And so they have pastimes within. And those pastimes are so enrapturing, you could say, just so completely absorbing, that Mahavishnu withdraws his external consciousness and focuses his consciousness within. Just they're having exchanges within. But it looks like he's sleeping. He's in yoga nidra, mystical, like a trance. Sometimes they call it mystical slumber, but it's more just mystical trance. And it's not quite as enthralling and amazing and just all these unexpected happenings as in the pastimes of Radharani with Krishna. So therefore, the glory of the love of Srimati Radharani, and of course, when we say her love, that means the way she expresses her feelings. She doesn't just sit there like, oh, I love you, I love you. But love means the expression. That's really love, not just some emotion. although emotion is definitely there as part of the root. So because she expresses herself, she manifests her love in all these amazing ways that Krishna doesn't expect. He doesn't know what is going to happen next. Therefore, Krishna finds it so wonderful, and he becomes perplexed that what is her love? I want to understand, I want to experience the glory of her love from her position. So yes, so Krishna says there in Chaitanya Charitamrita, whatever pleasure I get by tasting my love for Srimati Radharani, she tastes 10 million times more than me by her love. Just think of that for a moment. Well, we can't really, can we? When Krishna returned to Goloka Vrindavan 5,000 years ago, after he had been here, so he was back there and he's just remembering what had happened and how everything was and how nice it was, and particularly these loving relationships. And a thought struck Krishna that all these devotees, particularly the gopis, they were serving me in such wonderful ways, and I was enjoying so much being served by them. But Krishna got the realization they were getting more pleasure than me by serving me than I was getting by being served by them. And now he really went into that idea and just started meditating on that. And he thought of some particular gopi, and he understood she was getting twice the pleasure by serving me that I got from being served by her. Twice the pleasure. And then another gopi, she was getting 10 times the pleasure. And poor Krishna, Hare Krishna, poor Krishna, his head was spinning 10 times. That's a lot. But then another gopi, he thought, she was getting 100 times the pleasure. Then another one 1,000 times. Another one 1,000,000 times, and talk about Krishna's head spinning. But then he thought of Srimati Radharani. She was getting 10 million times more pleasure, more enjoyment from serving Krishna than he was getting from being served by her. And then Krishna thought, I got to become a devotee. This is another part of the story of this is another first appearance of Lord Chaitanya. As I said, there's a number of first times that Lord Chaitanya appeared. And Krishna thought, this being God, who needs it? I'm going to become a devotee. And he manifested his form as Lord Chaitanya. So, yes. So, there's a verse here, nice verse. All glories to Radha's love for Krishna, the enemy of the demon Mura. Although it is all-pervading, it tends to increase at every moment. Is that possible? Not really. To be all-pervading means you're pervading everything. But this love of Radharani for Krishna, part of its glory, even though it's all-pervading, it tends to increase at every moment. Although it is important, it is devoid of pride. And although it is pure, it is always beset with duplicity, that's another story. Come back another day, we'll talk about that. Sri Radhika is the highest abode of that love, and I am its only object. The glory of Radharani's love. My mind races to taste the pleasure experienced by the abode, by Radharani, but I cannot taste it, even by my best efforts. How may I taste it? If sometime I can be the abode of that love, the possessor of that love, only then may I taste its joy. So like this, Krishna became curious to taste that love. Then the second thing is the wonderful qualities in him that she alone relishes through her love. Means that all the devotees, even just us humble souls here in our program today, all of us, we have at least some understanding, realization, perception, some sort of consciousness of Krishna's qualities to some degree. Otherwise we wouldn't be here. I mean, at least I wouldn't be too surprised if, maybe not the only quality of Krishna which would be important to such a devotee, but one quality of Krishna which is important to some devotees is that because he's present in prasadam, prasadam tastes good. But I mean, really good. Yeah. We had back in the old days in New Vrindavan a monthly, or weekly actually, weekly magazine, Confessions of a Prasadam Addict. And he would write a report every week on the Sunday feast. And so the report would come out on Monday, and then every day the report would be sort of developed further up till Wednesday. And then on Thursday, it would be like a preview of what the next Sunday feast is going to be like. And that would build up to the Sunday. Do you get the idea? So anyway, we all have some type of awareness, consciousness of Krishna, which is sort of, striking enough, and just it attracts us enough that at least we keep going in Krishna consciousness without sort of going out the window. So, yeah. So, what to speak of the great devotees? What to speak of the great devotees who have such awareness of the wonderful qualities in Krishna? And did you know that one name of Krishna is Gunatma, and Guna meaning quality and Atma meaning self? Sanatana Goswami explains about Gunatma, how Krishna is just the self of all good qualities, the personality of good qualities. Sanatana Goswami says that Krishna has so many qualities, good qualities, and for every single living entity, Krishna has for every one special quality that only that living entity perceives. No one else perceives it. Yeah. So, So, even we have someone like Namacharya Prabhu, there's some particular quality of Krishna that Krishna only shows to him and not to Kishori Mataji. And vice versa. But the thing is that Srimati Radharani perceives, experiences many, many amazing qualities of Krishna which nobody else perceives. Even her closest gopi friends like Lalita, they just don't perceive those qualities. So, Krishna says, my sweetness is wonderful, infinite, wonderful, infinite, and full. No one in the three worlds can find its limit. Only Radhika, by the strength of her love, tastes all the nectar of my sweetness. We taste a little nectar in the kirtan when Shitala is singing. Very nicely. It's nice. There's nectar there. But there's more to come. There's a lot more to come. Yes. Yes. So, Radharani. So we all taste some nectar, which means nectar of Krishna. But Radharani, by the strength of her love, tastes all the nectar of Krishna's sweetness. And even beyond his own ability to understand his sweetness. There's a constant competition between Krishna's sweetness and the mirror of Radharani's love. They go on increasing and increasing, but neither knows defeat. The sweetness increases, the mirror reflects it increasingly. And the sweetness increases, the mirror reflects it even more. Yes. And so Krishna thinks, my sweetness is always newer and newer. And devotees taste it according to their particular love for him. But if Krishna thinks, if I see my sweetness in a mirror, I am tempted to taste it, but I can't. And if I think about a way to taste it, I find that I hanker for the position of Radharani. Yes, so just like you might be familiar if you were following our Brihad Bhagavatamrita seminar a little while ago. Krishna was in Dwaraka. Krishna was missing Vrindavan and the devotees of Vrindavan. And Narada Muni, to try to sort of pacify Krishna, Narada Muni organized a drama about the pastimes of Vrindavan with the best actors in the universe. Forget Brad Pitt. He is the Pitts. I mean, I'm sure that's definitely true. And, whoever else they are. In my youth, it was Elizabeth Taylor. But anyway, forget them. These actors and actresses were literally out of this world, and they put on this drama of Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes, having been trained and directed by Narada Muni. And it was so amazing when Krishna came on the stage, and Krishna the actor, Gandharva actor, came on the stage. And Krishna in the audience saw Krishna, the actor. The actor was portraying Krishna so perfectly. Krishna became bewildered, and he grabbed hold of Uddhava's arm. Uddhava, tell me, is that me or am I me? And Uddhava said, my lord, it's just a play. Just relax. But Krishna couldn't relax because he was appreciating his own sweetness so much. And eventually Krishna jumped up and went running towards the stage to embrace Krishna the actor, with Uddhava running behind him, and Uddhava caught him and said, my lord, please sit down. It's just a drama. And Krishna apologized to everyone. Sorry, really. So Radharani, though, Radharani appreciates his wonderful qualities completely. After all, she's part of him, so you could say, you could expect that. It wouldn't be too surprising, because who knows you better than you, usually? But she appreciates him better than he appreciates him. And that fascinates Krishna. And then in this way, Krishna was wondering. Krishna would see, like we mentioned, she gets 10 million times the pleasure from serving him as he gets from being served by her. So Krishna wanted to know, what is this happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love? And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, in that 4th chapter of the Adi Leela, he gives really amazing analysis and description of how that works, how it all works, that she feels happiness, such happiness, when she realizes how much and how sweet, how much he loves her, and how sweet is her love. He gives very amazing analysis that the love of the gopis, and of course Radharani is the queen, the topmost. So whenever we hear about the gopis this or the gopis that, in one sense it's just some aspect of the nature of Radharani being discussed. So there is not the slightest taint of lust in the gopis' love. Their relationship with Krishna is only for the sake of his enjoyment. The gopis don't care for their personal pleasures or pains. All their physical and mental activities are directed simply towards offering enjoyment to Krishna. And listen to this. Whatever affection we see the gopis show for their own bodies, know it for certain to be only for the sake of Krishna. You know, there's a certain caricature. Ladies, listen to this. I don't know if you're aware of this. At least in my youth, there was a certain caricature of ladies, particularly young ladies, that if they're going out with some young man who, you know, they're interested in, then they can, you know, sit in front of the mirror and sort of fiddle around in different ways, you know what I mean? Adjusting this and that and readjusting for ages. But it's all, I don't know about all, but anyway, they say, this is the caricature. It's just they're sort of trying to attract the mind of the man and kind of catch him. A court man, yes. Anyway, don't mind, ladies, but this is just man talk, kind of. So the gopis, you know where that comes from? It comes from the gopis. They can sit in front of the mirror, trying to make themselves look nice in this way, and no, we'll try another way, and we'll try a bit of this, and no, we'll try some of that. They can sit down there and stay there for 24 hours. But it's not that they're just trying to impress Krishna. But they know that when Krishna sees their beauty, then Krishna becomes pleased. He becomes happy. Therefore, they want to present themselves as beautifully as possible for Krishna, and nothing to do with themselves. So they think, I've offered this body to Lord Krishna. He is its owner, and it is simply for bringing him enjoyment. Krishna finds joy in seeing and touching this body. It is for this reason that they cleanse and decorate their bodies. Yeah. So there's a lot can be said about this, but this gives the basic idea. And so when Krishna sees the gopis who have, worked so hard to make themselves look nice for his pleasure, then his joy increases. And when his joy increases, his sweetness increases. And when the gopis see his sweetness increase, then their joy increases and their beauty increases. And when Krishna sees that increase in their beauty, his joy increases, which makes his beauty increase. And when they see that, do you get the idea? Yeah. So there is, as Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, in this way a competition takes place between them, in which no one acknowledges defeat. And it's been going on eternally, and it will continue on eternally. And the essence of it is that among the gopis, Srimati Radhika is the foremost. She surpasses all in beauty, good qualities, good fortune, and above all in love. So just listen to this. Among all the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most exalted. She is the most beautiful, the most qualified, and above all, the greatest lover of Krishna. All the other gopis help increase the joy of Krishna's pastimes with Radharani. The gopis act as the instruments of their mutual enjoyment, their, Radha and Krishna's. Radha is the beloved consort of Krishna, and she is the wealth of his life. Without her, the gopis cannot give him pleasure. So, we're doing this whole seminar building up to Radhastami, focusing on Srimati Radharani. And ultimately the idea is so that we get the idea more and more deeply sort of driven into our hearts that we have to take shelter of Srimati Radharani. We are serving under Radharani. She is Bhakti Devi, the presiding deity of devotional service. All devotional service is going on under her. So if we pray to her for mercy, please help me to become a better servant, she'll be happy. She'll be happy to give us some inspiration and empowerment to become better servants. And if we really try hard, and if she really sees that actually, this one, despite his or her shortcomings and other things, this one is they're actually trying their best, then she'll go to Krishna and she'll tell Krishna that, Krishna, down there in ISKCON Sandton, you heard of ISKCON Sandton, Krishna? Yes. Down there in ISKCON Sandton, there is one really nice devotee named ... fill in the blank. But maybe it's your name. Yeah. And she tells Krishna, Krishna, I want you to accept this devotee. And when Radharani says like that to Krishna, Radharani wants something, immediately Krishna's completely ready. So I want you to accept this devotee, she tells Krishna. And Krishna immediately says, yes, yes, yes. And Prabhupada's talking about this on one Radhastami, and Prabhupada says, then, even if you are fool and rascal number one, but somehow you got the attention of Radharani, then you'll be accepted by Krishna, and that's it. Perfection of life. Back home, back to Godhead. But by the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Hare Krishna. Srimati Radharani ke. Srimati Radharani ke. Go Premanande.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, we have 3 questions for today. So I'll just go through them very quickly. The first one, Hare Krishna Maharaj, is the love experienced by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu more than that experienced by Krishna?
Well, the thing is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the combined form of Radha and Krishna. They're both present in one form. And when we talk about the love of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we're talking about Radharani's love. So the answer is yes. The answer is yes. That Lord Chaitanya, Krishna's experience as Lord Chaitanya is much higher than Krishna's experience just as himself. Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, the next question. Hare Krishna Maharaj, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood is the same as Srimati Radharani's, and he spreads love of Godhead by performing Harinam Sankirtan out in public. How can we use this meditation to inspire ourselves and other devotees to take up more Harinam Sankirtan to please Srimati Radharani?
Well, you sort of said it already, but, if you're going out nicely and doing Harinam nicely, then your experience doing that Harinam, you'll become so exhilarated and enlivened and inspired and just so happy in Krishna consciousness, you will just radiate that to the others. So when you tell them that, tell the other devotees, you should come out with us because Harinam's so nice, they'll look at you and say, wow, I want to be like Sadhu Sangha Prabhu. Really?
Right. Thank you, Maharaj. And the last question for today, Maharaj, is today being Lalita Shashti, how do we understand her contrary and feisty mood towards Sri Krishna?
Yes, that's because she is the embodiment of that particular aspect of Radharani's nature, Lalita. Particularly the Astasakis, the 8 main girlfriends of Radharani. Each one embodies a particular quality of Radharani. They're expansions of her. So each one embodies a particular quality of Radharani almost fully, like in very amazing ways. So Lalita, she embodies that, very witty, but also very cutting. She can chastise Krishna no end. Yeah. So that's what it's all about. Yes. Each of the Astasakis is like a sort of a manifestation or reflection of a particular aspect of Radharani's nature.
Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, I have a few announcements, if you don't mind, before we get to the next part.
I don't mind, but let me make one.
Yes, please, Maharaj.
Someone asked, why is it on Krishna Janmashtami, which was just very recently, we all know, we have to fast till midnight. And on Radhastami, we only fast till midday. That's a good question, isn't it?
Very good question, Maharaj.
And the answer is because Srimati Radharani is more merciful. Yeah.
Haribol.
That's my announcement.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Maharaj. Maharaj, thank you so much for giving us your time and your darshan in the garden today out here in ISKCON Sandton near Varsana Dham. Devotees, thank you very much for attending today's program. It was very nice to see you all today in a cooler state today, so thank you very much. We'll see how we can adjust the timing to make it more comfortable for you out in the garden here as well. I would like to take this time to also thank the wonderful devotees who have done all of the hard work to put all of this together. When it comes to the altar setup, I would like to thank Ananda Amrita Mataji and Kayati Mataji for putting together and setting up the wonderful altar that we have in place. Today's prasadam has been cooked and sponsored by the three sisters, Gangotri Mataji, Achi Devi Dasi and Shanita Devi Dasi. Let's give them a great big Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Also today's Kirtaniyas by the Krishna Balaram Youth Group led by Shaitala Mataji. Thank you very much. Let's give them a Hari Bol. And then also the support staff that have been helping and assisting today, led by Yadvat Prabhu, Yudesh Prabhu, and Sanil Prabhu. Thank you very much for helping us. Hare Krishna to all of them. Hari Bol. So devotees, this a clarification for those of you who are not sure, can you bow down or not in the garden? So the ruling has been taken that you are allowed to pay your obeisances out in the garden because we have sun and rain and dew that cleans up as well. So you are allowed to pay your obeisance in the garden, just to make sure that you pay your obeisances directly in front of your chair to avoid multiple contact points and to also keep your mask on at the same time. So we are allowed to pay our obeisances in the garden for clarification. Devotees, some quick announcements. In case you haven't noticed the post that we've sent out in WhatsApp, ISKCON Sandton has partnered with Sri Sri Radha Radhanath Temple, which is down in Durban, our Radha Radhanath deities that we have out there. And we have an opportunity for you to sponsor towards the Maha Abhishek festival that will be happening on Radha Ashtami as well. It's an amount of 1,800 rands, and the good news about this is that because we have partnered with them, they are going to give 75% of their proceeds of this Lakshmi to us in ISKCON Sandton. So please take advantage of this. Let's give a big Hari Bol for that. Hari Bol. So please, let's take advantage of this opportunity. We have a few more days before Radha Ashtami that comes through on Tuesday. So if you'd like to do that, the contact details are all on the post that we have on WhatsApp, or let me know and I can share the details once again with you. Devotees, also we are in the month of September, which is Bhadra Purnima, and Bhadra Purnima is a time when we obviously need to look at how can we go and secure our ticket back to Goloka. One of the ways you can do that is by purchasing and gifting a Srimad Bhagavatam set. So if you'd like to do that, please let me know if you do not have the contact details of our book distribution team. I'll put you in contact with them, and we've sold lots and lots of these books out here. I think the global target is 25,000 Srimad Bhagavatam sets that we'd like to sell. So I don't know how we're tracking on that, but your one will contribute to that number as well. So if you haven't got one at home, now's the opportunity to take that advantage at a discounted price of 3,500 rands for a set of 12 cantos, which is 18 books. And yes, you will be obviously blessed by having that, specifically if you buy during this month as well. And even if you do have a set for yourself, think of any family member or friend that you really think deserves this. It'll be a nice opportunity for you also get that for them.
Devotees also, just to let you know that Govinda's is open for takeaway, so help us at the temple, support the temple. We have a wonderful menu that is in place right now. Today's menu, just so that we can test your taste buds. So we have soya prawns biryani, paneer makhani, rajma beans, pea dal, rice, roti, paneer wraps, avocado halloumi wraps, paneer pakoras. We also have vanilla cupcakes, cheese and sweet corn, samosas, as well as kachori. So there's a really wonderful menu of wonderful prasadam that you can purchase from Govinda's. However, you do have prasadam that you can take home, so you'll have to make a very tough decision to decide. You're going to take the devotee prasadam and also top it up with something from Govinda's as well. Devotees, just some quick statistics. So what we have noticed is that when we've been doing the bookings for these programs, yesterday's Saturday program, in the last 12 hours of the program, we had about 35% of devotees cancel. And unfortunately, you know, when you secure a seat, you need to make sure that you attend, and if you don't, let us know so that we can make space for other devotees to come through as well. Today's Sunday program, we had 20% of devotees who didn't pitch at all to come to today's program. So please, we humbly request that if you do accept an invitation and register for a program, we kindly ask you to please make sure you do attend. And if you don't, give us enough information and time so that we can offer this to other devotees. I have a whole spreadsheet of devotees that go onto a waiting list. Please, Prabhu, when you have any cancellation, no matter how late, let me know so we can attend as well. So please, devotees, if you can, book a seat, make sure that you do attend, or notify us in advance so that we can go and hand over your seat over to another devotee that's willing to come. Devotees, just leading on to an announcement that Maharaj made about Tuesday night, we had some statistics. We have a WhatsApp group that has 460 devotees that are on there. Upon posting the actual RSVP list or link for devotees to come and join for Tuesday's program, in a matter of, and this is a record breaker, Maharaj, in a matter of 3 minutes, 57 seats have been taken up. So give yourselves Haribol. So this is obviously how much Maharaj people would love to come and see you on Radha Astami. But devotees also, what this means is that we tend to go and quickly say, let me book, and then we think about if we're going to attend as well. So let's make sure that we do attend when we do book. As a result, we've had a discussion as the management team to say, let's increase the number of devotees because they want to come for the program. So we've decided that we will not have the program up on the deck. We'll rather move it down to Maharaj's lawn right here in property 3. That gives us ample enough space to go and accommodate 75 devotees as compared to 57. So we'll have more devotees that can attend. We'll also make sure that we put the necessary protocols in place to have lighting so we can be clear. But devotees, please remember, if you are coming for the program, it will get down to a minimum of 18 or 17 degrees. So bring a jacket or a hat to keep yourself warm in case it gets a bit colder in the night. There is no rain forecasted this way, so let's make sure that when you are fasting and praying to Srimati Radharani, she keeps us all nice and doesn't bless us with some, Indra might just come over to come and bless us as well. Jai, so Maharaj, we will have it in the garden out here for the program. So devotees, when you are exiting, you will exit the same way that you have entered. You'll pick up your light prasadam and then you'll exit through the yoga lane lounge gate. We'd also like to remind you to try and help the COVID marshals by not congregating with each other too much. You can speak to each other, but try to limit the contact that you have with each other. Keep your mask on it all the time before you get into your vehicles as you leave for the part of it. So devotees, the next part of the program is going to be Kirtan. We'll get the Pujari to get himself ready, led by Dineshwara Krishna Prabhu. We'll have Aarti. Maharaj will be singing for us. So lead the Aarti, Maharaj. And then for those of you who would like, after the program, there will be Japa by Maharaj. So you're welcome to stay behind and join the Japa out here in the wonderful garden and lovely environment here. However, if for any reason you need to leave early, and you are welcome to do so, you can exit, pick up your prasadam. For those devotees that do not want to leave early and they are wanting to stay for Japa, we will bring your prasadam to you and deliver it to you as well. So devotees, thank you once again for your wonderful association. Maharaj, thank you once again for giving us your darshan. We look forward to seeing those devotees that will be coming on Tuesday to join us for the wonderful program that will be happening here in the garden. The timing is from 6:30 until 8:30. Bear in mind that we want to start and finish on time because we have a curfew at 10 o'clock. We need to be home, which means by 9 o'clock we need to ensure that we leave the premises here. So help us to make sure we're on time on Tuesday. But looking forward to Tuesday. Looking forward to having the Association of the Wonderful Devotees once again. On behalf of ISKCON Sandton, thank you very much for coming through once again. His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you, Maharaj.
Oops, you got it. Can you do that? Oh, well, I can stay out of the way. Or maybe just bring it forward. Oh yeah, okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribol, Haribol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribol, Haribol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribol. Srimati Radharani, K.J. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srimati Radharani, K.J. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srimati Radharani. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribol, Haribol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajakcharis Tadasasisamad, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki, ISKCON's founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki, Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki, Prem Singh Krishna Chaitanya Brahmanityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki, Shishi Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath, Shamkund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki, Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki, Shri Mayapur Dham Ki, Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki, Shri Shri Radha Radhanath Ki, Shri Shri Nitai Gaura Hari Ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi Ki, Srimati Radha Rani Ki, Shri Radhastami Mahotsava Ki, Gaur Premanande. All glories to their Sama devotees. All glories to their Sama devotees. All glories to their Sama devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So again, devotees, thank you for your association. Greatly appreciated. And you know what the program is. For those who would like japa, I have an international japa program right now till 6 o'clock, so I'll be here till 6. And you can stay as long as you like. Prasadam will be brought to those who stay here for japa. Otherwise, if you feel you'd like to move along, you can get prasadam up the top there. Hare Krishna. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Pramanityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Little Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. What is it? Oh, okay. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram. Hare Ram, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari Hari Sri Krishna Chaitanya Pramanachananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Rama Rama. Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari Hari. Hari Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari Hari. Hari Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari Hari. Hari Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari Hari. Hari Ram Hari Ram. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari. Hari Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Hari Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Hari Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Hari Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari Hari. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. My gosh. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari Hari Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari Hari Sri Krishna Chaitanya Brahmanachananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shastri Gamadvanda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Can you call Govardhan, see how many surveys he got? Can you call Govardhan, see how many surveys he got? Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna. Okay. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Hari Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Hari Bol. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Hari Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari Hari. Ram Ram Hari Hari Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shasni Gamadvanda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Hari Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna. Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram 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 Hari Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Hari Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari Hari Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. 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 Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram. Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari Hari. Hare Krishna devotees, thank you for the association. Hope to see you on Tuesday. Hare Krishna. Srimati Radharani K. Srila Prabhupada K.